Hey Andy, I'm Chase. How are you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for meeting with me.
Yep, no problem.
Here's my business card.
Thank you.
So my phone number and everything is on there, so that's how you can contact me. I know you said you have 20 minutes.
Right.
So I'm going to stick to that. I know your time is valuable. I just wanted to go over my agenda with you really quick. So feel free to interrupt me anytime if you need to. I spoke with Dan the other day at the Alumni Game Day event, and we talked about Yeti and how you're the IT director, and he thought it might be great if I could meet you and maybe speak with you. Is that your position still?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay,
That's right.
perfect. I wanted to get to know more about Yeti in general and kind of figure out what your needs are and try to match up our Salesforce solutions and see what we can do for you guys.
Okay,
And then after, we can hopefully come to an agreement and see what the next steps would be.
sounds good.
So I'm going to have to ask if there's anybody else that needs to be in this meeting. Is there?
I'm gonna have to consult with some people
Okay.
afterwards, but for right now, no, it's just me.
Okay, perfect. Then we're going to go ahead and get started. Do you mind if I take notes?
Oh, no, no problem.
Okay, great. Yeti sounds like a great company. I personally love Yeti, and I know you guys have been in business for about 11 years and have been generating hundreds of millions of dollars, which is incredible. And I know that Yeti is one of the fastest growing outdoor companies today. So I can imagine how busy you are as the IT director, and I just wanted to ask you kind of what your daily tasks might look like as the IT director.
Yeah, so my biggest task right now is to ensure that our sales force is as efficient as possible,
Mhm.
and that they have the right programs in place for them to be effective.
Right.
So as the IT director, the more efficient the sales team can work because of the programs, the more money Yeti can make, happy my bosses are, and then that just overall better reflects on me.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely understand. So when I was talking with Dan, he said that y'all might be having some issues with the current programs y'all are using, and he thought I might be able to help. And he said y'all are using an outdated program that's maybe not very capable of tracking the sales team's activities and client data. Could you tell me a little bit more about how Epicor works? I heard Dan's side, but I'd love to get your view on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, my perspective, one component of our system is for our sales team and deals more with managing our data and client data with our retail distributors. And make sure that our distributors have what they need when they need it. To make sure that our products are available in all their stores at all times.
Definitely.
The other side is for our direct-to-consumer marketing, for those consumers who have bought a product on Yeti.com, and so we can send them more offers on more products to buy.
Yeah. What effect do you think the speed and efficiency of Epicor has on your employees?
Well, I have heard a lot of my employees complain about just how slow it is, how difficult it is to work, and how it takes a lot of time out of their day, which in turn takes a lot of time out of my day.
Definitely. So I know Dan mentioned that y'all had some issues with interdepartmental collaboration because of the outdated tracking system. So I've heard there's a little bit of disconnect with that. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so I will say the program we have right now is not the most up to date. There's definitely some breakdowns in communication and uniformity, but at the same time, we've just had so much growth, especially in the past couple of years, that it's been hard to sort of change programs in the middle of all of it.
Yeah, congratulations on the sales and just the success of Yeti this far. I know I'm really impressed. Do you think there's going to need to be more collaboration between departments, though, as you guys grow in size?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're still doing well. Well, maybe out of date and a little inefficient. We're still generating a lot of sales, but there definitely needs to be better collaboration and communication as we keep increasing.
Definitely. Another thing, when I was talking to Dan, he was saying that y'all are having trouble just trying to figure out where Yeti is in the marketplace. How do you think being able to figure out market trends might faster optimize Yeti as a whole?
Yeah, so I think having that access much quicker would be extremely beneficial to Yeti's success. I would go as far as say as maybe even increase our sales by 10%, and especially go after more and bigger distributors, retailers across the nation.
Yeah, I think that could make a real difference and bring a lot more attention to Yeti.
Yeah, it could definitely help with our sales and visibility as a whole.
For sure. How do you think your sales managers feel about using, this outdated tracking system for their sales reps? And do you think it's difficult for you? I know I can only imagine how they feel.
So they're definitely frustrated because when they have to report to their bosses, it's taking a lot of their time to sort of figure out the numbers because of how inefficient the system that we have right now is, and the manual tracking definitely creates overlap of accounts, and it's just hard to tell who's talking to who, and
Yeah.
So that breakdown of communications is a huge issue,
For sure.
and figuring out just where we are as a company and trying to not lose as much time each week.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they would overall describe it as inefficient.
Yeah.
But also, like for example, our managers are constantly coming up to me, saying that two of their salespeople have went to the same retailer, and with the same concern, and that retailer is like, why do y'all keep coming back to me? And it looks bad on me as the IT associate director to see that the programs we have in place aren't working as well as they should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know a big part of why Yeti is so successful is because of your technology, and people always end up choosing your product regardless if it's higher in price over a competitor's product, with the same technology. And typically it seems that it's really just because Yeti's name is on it, so that brand is really important. Do you think having an inefficient system might hurt your brand because sales teams are, calling on the same retailers? Do you think they might start thinking less of Yeti?
So yeah, our brand name is a huge part of our success as a company, because we were the first to use this technology in our products, and people sort of think of Yeti as a luxury product.
Right.
And so yeah, I think having the system that we have right now is potentially harming that brand name, which overall will potentially lose value in our company.
Definitely, for sure. I've actually seen businesses that I've worked with in the past experience a lot of the same things that y'all have experienced, and the IT director was not happy, so I can imagine how you feel as well. How do you think this dissatisfaction with the tracking system that y'all currently have, how do you think that's affecting your sales manager's productivity, or even your productivity?
So yeah, there's definitely a decline in productivity. I probably can't quantify that right now, but the breakdown in communication and this inefficiency in the sales team definitely is causing some dissatisfaction as a whole, which in turn will decrease the productivity.
Yeah. So I did a little bit of research, and I saw that you guys had 90 million in sales in 2013, 148 million in 2014, and 470 in 2015. Which is unbelievable, seeing the amount of growth that you guys have had. But I know I saw that your projected sales is 450 million in 2017. So even though y'all are generating incredible sales, it seems that there is a decline. Do you think this decline in revenue could be attributed to the disorganization of the tracking systems that y'all currently have?
Well, I hate to say it, but yeah, it definitely is. But we're definitely conservative in our projections. We look at market conditions to estimate those projections, and because of that, some fall shorter than others. But yes, that definitely does have an effect on our growth projections. But that's sort of the reason I'm here to talk with you today, is to see how a new system might be able to change that.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be here too. when I was talking to Dan and he was telling me a little bit about the problems y'all were having. I was super excited because I know we have solutions that we can offer and really help you guys out. So I'm gonna pry a little bit deeper and ask some more questions if you don't mind. Have you guys lost any clients as a result of this this outdated system or just lack of productivity in general?
So unfortunately we have. The most recent, we have a couple, we've lost a bunch of more local, smaller outdoor retail distributors. So a lot of our revenue comes from smaller distributors in more local areas that we can't necessarily get out to. And that's a huge chunk, so that definitely hurt our company as a whole.
Yeah. Do you think you could quantify that loss?
Oh, wow. I would say it was probably around $5 million a year.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. But you know, that kind of stuff happens. I've seen it happen over and over again. And it seems to happen to companies where these inconsistencies in tracking client data occur, and it seems so minimal at the time, but it actually does have a huge effect, especially in the long run. So I'd love to just sort of go over everything that you've said to this point. And do you think that having a newer, more organized, and more automated system as opposed to the one you're currently using, do you think that could be helpful?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Okay, awesome. So I understand that you guys are trying to expand.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's another huge aspect that's important in the growth factor.
Absolutely. So I think it would definitely increase our visibility and help with not only expanding, but help with meeting the new workload that we're trying to achieve. So that's why I'm glad you're here, because I don't know exactly how to go about switching systems or what systems we go to. So I'm extremely happy to hear more about this.
Yeah. So this is going to sound a little crazy, but I really think I can help you guys increase the amount of product orders by roughly 30% over an 18-month period. This is going to come from not losing any more clients due to confusion, and by increasing the amount of accounts that you're going to gain from saving the time that is currently being lost. Would you be interested in learning more about Salesforce and what we have to offer?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
awesome. That is super good to hear. Is there anything else that you'd want to talk about? Any other problems that I could go over with?
No, I think you've sort of hit it all, especially with the lost time and the interdepartmental collaboration, the breakdown of communication. I would love to hear more about sort of the sales report aspect of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go through all of that with you. First, I want to go over what I have to make sure I have an understanding of everything. So like we said, the inside-outside tracking, it's not efficient. You said the breakdown of communication that you are having with the overlapping of clients and data is a problem with the sales reports and the sales managers. I think we could really increase your revenue by 10%. And we talked about team productivity and how you lost a bunch of outdoor stores that cost you, millions of dollars per year. So I think that this demonstration will definitely give you an idea of how we can help you with those issues.
Okay.
Do you mind if I move to your side
Yeah.
to show you? Awesome. Okay. So we're gonna pull this up. Okay. So this is Salesforce.com. Super accessible and super easy to use. And if you just insert any customer name right there on that line. Okay, perfect. And then you can see they are right there. And if you click continue, so right here is all of that information in one area. And then the outside salespeople can input it, so they don't have to come back to input it. And the sales manager can see all of this. And it's the same for the inside sales team. They can use this system instead of doing it all manually by hand, which I know can also result in a lot of errors. And I think that alone is where a lot of that client overlap comes from. And then also another tab over here, if you click right there, I think you'll really be interested in is the sales reports. So we have this really cool sales reports tool where each individual sales rep can, send you their sales report. And I think that's really going to help in terms of metrics and quantifying the productivity of your employees alone. It's going to be great for you guys. And then this other tab shows you every single one of your outside sales and inside sales, and their goals and quotas that can be tracked, because I know your sales manager has been experiencing a disconnect and having problems like that. And then it's the only system with built-in order management, which is incredible, actual sales with their quotas. And then over here you can see your customer data and manage your entire process in this one place, inside and outside. So kind of while you're going through this, I want to talk to you about what the cost might be without updating your system. So without proceeding with Salesforce, kind of what would that look like? And I think to do this with a visual aid would be really helpful, so you can see how it actually might affect you. So on here we can see that you're losing, what, 10% each year that you said, and then you have 450 million in revenue, so we're gonna put in that 450. So that's about $45 million lost right there. And then you said from these lost accounts that we were discussing about 5 million. Okay, so we're talking about a total of $50 million per year.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, so let me explain. The cost of Salesforce is $150 a month, and with, you said 50 salespeople, that's going to be about $7,500 a month, or about $90,000 a year.
That is also a lot.
Yeah, it does sound like a lot, but when you think about it, saving $50 million per year versus spending $90,000, I think that is a good hand that you would be dealt.
Very good point.
I'm super confident that we can increase Yeti's revenue while reducing a lot of the loss. And I know this because one of my most recent clients, Power Tools, we were facing a lot of the same difficulties that you guys were, and I really got to work with them and understand where they were coming from. And they ended up, after joining Salesforce, we increased their leads by like 200% and new accounts by 40% and product orders by 30%. So this was super encouraging for them to see and kind of just set them up for success for the next few years. And a huge aspect of it that they loved was the fact that they were saving between 18 to 30 hours per week. So what do you think saving that much amount of time would look like for you and your employees?
Wow. For me, that would definitely give me the chance to get all of my work done at work and come home stress-free.
Yeah, definitely. I think a really cool thing is that Salesforce does provide a bunch of those different aspects, and it kind of can shock you what an impact that one program can have on your entire company. So going over everything, is there anything else that you want to talk about?
No, I think you've got it all.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'd love to set up a follow-up meeting. Hopefully we can continue talking about alleviating some of the points that we discussed today. Is there a certain time, maybe next Friday, that you're available?
I think I have 10:30 available.
Okay, awesome. So I'll put that in my calendar. And then also, is there anybody else you'd want to bring to this meeting? Maybe accounts payable, finance director, CFO?
I think Sandra, our finance director,
Okay.
Just because she's in charge of our fiscal budget, I think she'd definitely want to be in here.
Definitely. Well, I will shoot you guys an email just to remind you of that meeting, and I look forward to speaking with you.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.